So welcome back to episode 2 of the Fade to Fear podcast. I am your host, CJ Robinson, but here I have my guest, my dog, my best friend with me today, Squid Inks. You can follow her at, I believe it's Squid Inks Tattooist on Instagram.
Yeah, Squid Inks _ Tattooist.
Tattooist. Okay, yeah, we'll make sure we put her socials on the screen somewhere for y'all so y'all can give her a follow, man. But hey, how's it going? How you doing today?
I'm feeling good. I'm feeling great. Thank you for having me.
Yeah, for sure. Tell the people a little bit about yourself. How long have you been tattooing professionally?
So professionally, I've been tattooing it'll be 6 years in October.
God damn. I didn't even know that.
Yeah.
Wow.
That's counting the day I first touched skin.
Okay. Day you first touched skin. I got you. So do you conjoin your apprenticeship in with those years?
Yeah.
Okay, bet.
My apprenticeship was about a little over a year and a half of that time. Mm-hmm. Is when I got certified. So.
Okay. Cool. Absolutely.
Together about 6 years in October.
Bet. Okay. This is something new that I'm trying. I haven't done this before, but shout out my nigga Narwar. But you are my second interview. But I have a gift for you. On the random side, so
I like business. I like
yeah. Okay. Absolutely. You can open it up now. This is something I just wanted to get for you. You could kind of tell people what it means to you. This is just a little background shit I knew about you.
Oh, bro. Okay, I don't know what.
Yeah, you show the camera.
Y'all see that?
Yeah.
That's the last dragon.
Yeah.
Thank you, bro. I love this.
Absolutely.
I love this. I'm gonna try to put this up in the station for real. I might not have any wall space.
Oh yeah, I got you.
But I'm gonna frame it and put it somewhere. Thank you so much.
For sure.
But yeah, The Last Dragon, fun fact about me, is one of my favorite movies. I actually had a pet frog. His name was Leroy, after the main character.
That's so hilarious.
Yeah. Ribbit Leroy Rigby.
Man, I had a lizard named Bruce Leroy. Yeah. That's so funny. Wait,
okay, I don't think I wrote it up properly.
Oh, you good? I mean, we'll figure it out, man. Yeah, all good. But yeah, man, I just wanted to hop into give the people a little niche fact about you. And speaking of niche facts, I'm seeing that Barry Gordy had to do with this. I know you still haven't seen the Michael Jackson movie yet, right?
Not yet. I plan on it though.
Okay, all right, all good, man. But as we know, Barry Gordy was real impactful and pivotal in MJ's career, Jackson 5 and shit. But that just got me thinking about what's your thoughts on I know I've seen this before, your thoughts on tattoos for medical implications for let's say somebody has a scar. Have you ever had that before? Somebody has a scar where they just want their skin tone pigment tattooed or shaded in to match their skin tone.
So cosmetic tattooing is another training.
Mm-hmm. Oh, okay.
It's a whole another thing in its own, which is something I've actually been interested in. I don't know how to get into that, but
okay.
As far as tattoo scars, usually people just ask me for creative ways to incorporate the scar into something or blend it out to where you can't really see the scar anymore. Mm-hmm. Say if someone was a former self-harmer and they can cover that wrist scar, or maybe even pay homage to surviving that part of their lives.
Type shit.
I've had to do that before.
That's tough.
Yeah.
Shout out to y'all. If any of y'all know, you know how my homie can break into cosmetic tattooing, please, hit us up. We'll be forever grateful. Yeah, I just was kind of thinking about that because, with Mike having, vitiligo and stuff like that, I'm I wonder if they could ever, I'm sure that would obviously be, a lot of ink, on somebody's skin. However, I'm man, that could be, a little creative way. To cover some of that up, basically.
And this is maybe not as on topic, but I love the way that vitiligo has been kind of celebrated.
Oh yeah, for sure, 1,000%.
You have supermodels,
Winnie Harlow,
yep,
for
and,
sure.
There's other people being creative. I've seen a girl on Instagram, I forget her name, so if y'all know, maybe tag her because shout out to that. But she actually does brown and then the white. She uses those different makeup and
I think I know you talking
draws
about.
on herself to make her vitiligo almost like art. Well. So I just think it's dope that different skin types and different looks of people are being more celebrated now. And I just kind of wish that for Mike, maybe he was in a different era to where he could have been more celebrated and didn't feel so ashamed about that.
I agree with that. And I think, that'll lead me into my next question for you. Like, why does like, I guess like why representation matters realistically. Like a point I want to kind of get into with this, like, and I know I've seen this discussed over like different pockets of the industry is like, but a lot of the time, you may go into like, I don't know, like this is a large white brand industry, right? So like there's going to be tons of white artists that you are more than likely going to get tattooed by, right? But a lot of the time, like you won't see, any of the like any black work, like work on like melanated skin, like on a white person's page. Like I find that a little disgraceful, if you ask me, or it's kind of like, I don't know, it's kind of a bummer when I go see shit like that, because it's just like, all right, I know it's not your main demographic, right? However, it's just like, hey, like I feel like you might be kind of like cutting yourself shorter. You might be missing out on money, or and things like that. Do you have any like I guess advice for your white counterparts who may be in the industry on how they can like get out of the anxiety of tattooing people that are like melanated in skin? Sure.
I just kind of want to touch on that a little bit first before I answer your question, if that's okay. But I feel like a lot of it, unfortunately, it is a predominantly white male industry.
Yeah.
And because of that, I feel like a lot of the clientele that a lot of white males run into are fellow white people. So sometimes facts. It's not even, of course there's racism in some instances, but sometimes it's not even a racial issue. It's just more of what they're exposed to, what's necessary for them in their minds. And unfortunately, if it's not by choice, then it's just by circumstance. And I feel like some people, once they get in their hookup and they, may have been tattooing 15 years and never really had to worry about working on a person of color, that might be something that they don't even care, to delve into. And then on the other hand, I have run into people like at, for example, I was at a convention in Indiana, and I ran into this white guy. He was really cool. And I wish I knew his name. Shout out to him if you remember who you are. But he actually asked me, and he was like, hey, like, what's some tips on, how to work on black skin or darker skin? What's some things that you can help me with? So I gave him like a couple different tips as far as like color. There's a certain term in the industry that's like high chroma inks, which is like just trying to figure out how to describe it, but just heavily pigmented, where they like stay in the skin better. Those are much more effective on people of color. Whereas someone that is of a paler complexion, you may not have to worry about it being high chroma so much. Also just working with their skin tone and treating it as it is the highlight. Instead of like, I don't know, it's kind of harder to...
oh, it's cool. Take your time, man. Yeah, all good.
But okay, for example, if you've ever drawn on a piece of white paper versus a piece of brown paper,
right?
That's kind of the difference. Like having to figure out, okay, what can I do with this brown paper to make it just as beautiful? You may have to work in a different way than what you would do on a white piece of paper. So it's just like different techniques and stuff like that you can learn along the way. There are... I feel like nowadays is more representation online, because of social media, YouTube, Instagram and stuff. I've actually learned some things from other artists now.
Shout out to it, yeah.
There's starting to be like the Black Tattoo Experience.
Okay, yeah.
They have like stuff in Atlanta where, it's catered towards us more so because, this is something that is not new. Like, being a Black tattoo artist is... You're a minority.
Yeah, for sure.
Especially being a Black female tattoo artist. I think there's actually a Black tattoo artist movement as well, but I can't remember what the name is. But yeah, there's more representation now, which I'm thankful for, and I just feel like, for my fellow, to circle back to the question, my fellow white artists, I just feel like, if you try, that's all you need to do. Just be honest with your clients, maybe offer some free work or discounted work, do some research, and just practice. Practice makes perfect, and I would also suggest not to rely heavily on white ink. I feel like some people get caught up in that, but if you treat that skin, leave open skin, and treat that as your highlight and try to get those blacks and just create some depth that way, I think you'll have a much better outcome.
Shout out to it. Shout out to it. Speaking of female black tattoo artists, shout out my girl Jackie Gresham. I know she's still alive out there somewhere.
Yeah,
I think she's retired.
Her,
retired now, but
yeah. She I think she is. I know her shop closed like some years back, which I was sick about. I wanted to go down there in Louisiana and check her out, but she was still kind of traveling, I think, at that time when her shop closed down. But I would just love to see it. I would still love to see it because I think it's still standing. You just can't go in.
Can't go in.
So even if I could just go like take a quick picture, that would be cool.
Nah, for sure.
But yeah, shout out to her. You know, definitely a huge inspiration.
Super dope, man. I guess like going back to like representation, I just feel like you know, what would you say to people who are like looking into like enter the industry, like black people? Like, what would you say? Like, I don't know, what does the apprenticeship process look like? Why is it important, you know, to actually finish an apprenticeship? What did that I guess you can kind of give what it looked like for you, you know, your trials and tribulations through that.
Yeah, sure. I would say finding the right mentor is the first step. You know, research.
Let me pause you real quick. Sorry. Before we jump into the apprenticeship, I just wanted to jump into because I can't remember, when did you move back from Indiana?
I moved back. I gotta remember when I went. Okay, so I left. It was
like pandemic.
December 2019. I came back December 2020. So almost leading into 2021.
Okay, all right. Because I want to highlight you a little bit more.
It was terrible timing, honestly. Because so to give some background, I did graphic design. I went to UA, shout out to University of Akron, and got my bachelor's. And then I was a graphic designer. Worked at a couple small companies and did some freelance work for like 10 years, which was a challenge of its own. But that's a whole nother day story. So when I moved to Indianapolis, I went there doing graphic design. You know, then the pandemic hit, boom. I made it work, did odd jobs, worked at Amazon. I worked.
I didn't even know that.
I was a janitor. What else did I do? I worked at this factory called Chewy. They do like the pet supplies.
Oh, I'm hip to Chewy. You worked at Chewy?
Hell yeah. Oh, I'm sorry. Can I?
No, yeah, you can.
Okay,
yeah.
I worked at
Shout
Chewy,
out to Chewy,
like from 6 p.m. to 6 a.m. Like got my money up, and then I got my apartment because I moved in with my cousin.
Okay.
I actually moved there for a couple months. So then, boom, I moved out and got my place. But yeah, it was just bad timing because the pandemic hit in March. I moved there, like I said, in December that year before. So I was only there maybe like 3 months before everything got shut down. The company that I worked for downtown doing the graphic design stuff, we shut down. We tried like the digital online stuff for a minute, but it just didn't work. So that shut down. But overall, it was a dope experience. It also like taught me a lot about myself and my resilience. And,
I was about to say
things like that. So
making it through.
Yeah. It was I think it was beneficial especially for character building and then getting into the tattoo industry later. So before I had moved, I actually did try to get into tattooing before in 2018.
Okay.
I just linked up with a different mentor that I don't think it was like a perfect fit for me. So that's when I turned back to the graphic design stuff. So once pandemic hit, boom, I was in Indiana for about a year, came back home. That's when I tried to get back into tattooing because I'm like, you know what, it's something I always wanted to do. I never really got to see if I would be good at it or not. You know, let me circle back to that. So it was a little hard to get in, I would say, because, you know, I was like hitting up all these different shops locally, you know, inboxing people, sending my artwork and, you know, telling them my background in art. I've been drawing most of my life, so I was just showing
professional artist before you even tattooing.
Yeah. So I was
beautiful artwork, by the way, y'all.
Thank you. So yeah, I was just reaching out to people, and then, you know, you be my best friend. I was venting to you. You remember the whole process. So
for sure. I don't know if you was getting your hair cut or what. Like, I can't remember. I think we was chopping it up.
Yeah, it may have been when I got my hair cut and stuff too. But yeah, just, you know, vent to you about the process. And so that's when you linked me in with, shout out to my mentor, Ove Mendoza.
Shout out to Ove.
I got connected with Ove. And it just, you know, went from there. Like, it was definitely a perfect fit for me. And I'm still at his shop now. Shout out to the Lions Den.
Yes, Front Street. I don't know the street number, but yeah, for sure.
It's 2056 Front Street, Cuyahoga Falls. Absolutely. Y'all can come check us out. Shout out to DC and Ove. Those are the co-owners of the shop and everybody there.
That's a fact.
I feel like I did a lot of ranting and forgot the question.
Oh, well, no, just advice. Yeah. Advice, yeah.
I would just say, like, stick to your guns. You know, I definitely think that the getting an apprenticeship is the route to go.
Yeah.
Because you don't want to end up being what we call a scratcher.
Scratcher. Yeah, I was about to scratch artist.
Which is basically somebody who just tries and doesn't progress. Not saying that there aren't good artists who are self-taught, because it is possible in this day and age, but I just think that, you know, if you want to get on the track of like getting certified and things like that, getting up under somebody who can teach you the route to go without you having to make those mistakes that you can avoid, is the best route to go. You know, because you could tattoo for some years and then have to unlearn some things, which is harder than, you know, starting out.
There's a lot of y'all out there
to unlearn
right
bad
now
habits. That some people it takes away from your progress because you're unlearning.
Yeah, for sure.
Taught yourself.
Yeah, so I guess that leads me to this next question, because, you know, I know I told you this, like, but I didn't even really know of it like that for real to even be hitting them. But just the shop just so happened to be at the shop that he was tattooing at the time that she was also in later down the line. But you know, I'm just a talkative person, so like I was like, oh yeah, like I'm about to get XYZ done. He's like, oh yeah, send me a picture when it's done. And then that's how that whole thing happened. But
yeah, and I think I did communicate to you that I did prefer to have like a black instructor.
Exactly, right.
Just because I do know the duality of it all, and
1,000%.
They would care more.
For sure.
Which was something that I wanted to do, was to be one of those artists that is well versed in different ranges of skin.
Yeah.
And making us all feel like, you know, you can have beautiful artwork even if you're dark. You know,
yeah, what I mean? 1,000%.
So, and there's tattoo artists that will lie right to clients' faces and say, "Oh, you can't get that."
Oh yeah,
it's because
they
lack.
They don't know how to do it. Yeah, exactly.
You know what I mean? And unfortunately, that is something that people still think to this day. Like, I get clients all the time. They're like, "Oh, I'm dark. I can't do that." And I'm like, "Yes, you can." And then I can actually show them things that I've done already, and they're like, "Oh."
Right.
You know, so it feels good to, you know, be able to do that. And I'm still learning. You know, every day is trial and error.
Which is beautiful. Yeah, we got to.
So I'm still learning myself. And I just, I would love to be one of those people that can make people understand that just because you're black doesn't mean you can't get beautiful, colorful work.
Yeah, I got you. I love that, man. So, like, I guess my two-part question for you, because it's like you said the importance of going through apprenticeship, because I'm gonna just speak. I'm sure this happens in every city, but like I'm gonna speak, you know, about Akron specifically. A lot of y'all, I know it was the three mains. I'm not even gonna call nobody out, but the three main artists that was tattooing everybody throughout the city, and it's just like, man, that was really the shit at that time. But I know, like now, I know you got a different eye for work, right? You know, versus back then, what you would look at. So it's like, man, you don't necessarily want to have some shit on you. This is permanent. You feel me? So it's like, you don't necessarily want to have some shit on you, you know, for the rest of your life that's not up to par, right, per se. And then that's why it is important to like go through an apprenticeship. I would say, like, can you detail, like, I know you said it was a year and a half, but what were some of the things that you had to do during that apprenticeship?
So I know for a fact that every apprenticeship is not going to be the same. You know, as far as like how long it takes you, how, you know, the different projects you may be required to complete and different things like that could look different depending on who your mentor is. But for what I went through, like basically you start with the fundamentals, which is just learning needle depth, you know, how deep you want the needle to go into the skin for proper distribution without scarring or without it falling out because you may not have went deep enough. So fundamentals like that, and then just solid line work was like the first step, seeing if you can make clean lines. You know, I had to practice doing that. We had to draw on paper like thousands of lines by hand. And then
it was like a pledge, and you was on some cheek fight cheek. That was y'all.
I wouldn't even say all that, but you know, it was more so just developing that what do you call it, like
muscle memory, basically.
Muscle memory. You know what I'm saying? So if you can do it on paper, which in my opinion was like harder once I figured out on the skin. Like if you could do it on paper and those lines are looking solid enough, boom, get to your machine, get how that feels, and so yeah, so it was like that. We started out with like line work. Then from line work, it went to smooth shading was another test. And then also I think it's individualized because from the beginning, Ove knew that I wanted to get into realism. So he catered my apprenticeship around like making sure I would get to that point. Now, if you are someone whose focus is like a neo-traditional or something, I'm sure that their path would look a little different. But all in all, making sure you got solid line work, smooth shading, and that you can pack that color in solid, that's like the fundamentals. Okay. And then from there, just different projects, testing yourself, pushing your limits.
You tattooed on yourself before?
No, I haven't. That's something I haven't done. And I know that is something that some mentors require of their apprentices, but Ove didn't require it of me just because he was like, I'll let you pass because there's only certain places you can reach on your body. And I was just like, I don't want tattoos on my legs.
On your legs. I know you said that before.
Yeah. Which now that it's like years later, I'm starting to kind of teeter on if I want that or not. But yeah, so he let me get a pass. And then, so from there, he was just like, I had different drawing assignments. Like he made me draw a favorite actor, draw, different stuff like that on paper, which I had a lot of stuff to show anyway. So I don't think I had like a lot of projects like that. Mostly he just like tested me on people, my performance on skin and like, giving me critiques from there. And then I know, yesterday during your session, shout out to the leg piece.
We're going to throw up, speaking of that, I am going to, it's cold outside today, so I have to wear pants, but I'm going to throw up some of the work that she did on me. Somewhere in this video, we'll overlay some photos and stuff. And then showcase some of your other work too.
Yeah.
I'll let you choose whatever you want.
All right. But yeah, I was saying like shout out to Ove yesterday for teasing me because like that's what he was saying. Like in the beginning, even though I am a realism artist on paper, like I was afraid to try certain things on people at first because I'm just like caught up in my mind like it's permanent. You can't erase.
Right.
So I got stuck in my mind for a while, but I feel like that's the hardest part is just, making sure you just confident in yourself and just trying stuff. Never stop learning, never stop trying and pushing yourself. So once I got over that hump and then I started trying to do portraits and stuff, like now that's one of my favorite things to do. Yeah. And I remember was one of the scariest things for me.
Terrified, dude.
Yeah, bro. Like I was so scared.
Nah, for real.
But yeah, so shout out to it. Like he always pushed me, motivated me to keep trying.
For sure. I guess my like during that, did you have to like run and get niggas coffee or something? Like, what was your non-tattoo stuff like that you hated doing? They had y'all cleaning toilets and shit.
We all went. Sometimes I'll have to go get like lunch or something, but it wouldn't be like Diddy.
Yeah, okay. Like, you wouldn't know making
you gotta walk and get this
15
cheese
blocks to go get the chopped cheese.
Go get this cheesecake. Walk 6 blocks.
Right.
Like, nah. We at the first shop we were at, it was actually right across the street from this little bar. And we used to get breakfast from there sometimes. Okay. Or you would have to be the person that would go pick up the food if we all order it from like Chick-fil-A or something. Usually it was an apprentice that would run and get it. But mostly it was just like cleaning. Okay. All right. Making sure everybody's stations were clean. Clean the floors and answer the phone.
Right. Which gives you discipline for yourself once you become your own artist. So
Yeah. So and then or like set up, tear down his specific like station. I wouldn't have to do that for everybody. Yeah. But like set up and tear down his station, things like that. And then I would, prepare me for when it was my turn.
Type shit. Okay. I know. Well, I want to ask you this question because, like, me being a barber, like, I know this is applicable to me, but I don't know if it's applicable to the tattoo industry. But like, a lot of the times, like, you'll hear people complaining about, like, man, haircuts used to be $20. I get a haircut for like $10, but then you would see the like photo in comparison to now. Of course, the fucking cut was gonna be $10. Look at the quality of it, right? But like now you got enhancements. You got niggas using razors on lineups. Like the fades are impeccable, right? So like, and we use different techniques nowadays than what y'all might have been doing in shops like, I don't know, 10 years ago, right? So it's just like, are there certain techniques that are used by artists now? Like I know I'm not a tattoo artist, obviously, but like shading on those like cross hatching and certain things. Like, do you know about anything that was used back in the day that might not more so be used now? That's like obsolete.
I would say the thing that like to me makes a difference is like inflation, bro. Like the obvious answer, supplies are more expensive.
Right.
you know, we got to supply the things that we used for, you know, not even just the machine and the needles and the ink, but, you know, the things that keep you safe, that protect you from bloodborne pathogens. Like, we got to cover our equipment,
right?
You know, wraps and different, some people use like bottle bags. No, that's piercing stuff.
Okay, my bad. All right, yeah.
But no, that's autoclave is a big like oven basically thing. Not oven, but you know, it's basically you put your piercings in and it will sterilize your stuff before you proceed. But no. So like just general equipment of, you know, that can cost on its own. So, you know, we have to factor those things into you know, what we charge the client, of course. And then yeah, just inflation, bro. Like, everything is more expensive now. Yeah,
because y'all using single-use needle. Have you ever heard of, like...
It's all supply and demand.
Okay, yeah. That makes sense. Do you know of, like... Have you ever heard of people reusing needles? Like...
No.
Okay, great.
No. Yeah. If you ever... This is something I feel like it should be obvious to people, but some people just don't know. If you go to a tattoo artist and you don't see them get a brand new package... Brand new needle, they pop it open in front of you and pour it out or whatever. Like, how if they're using a coil machine or a rotary, like whatever type of needle they have, if you don't see them take it out of a container, do not trust it.
Okay, yeah,
you know,
for
which
sure.
I feel like
it's obvious, but still, I don't think
that's something that should happen. But if you know, if they did end up on somebody's couch and they're a scratcher, they may not know. You know, especially if you're like a fresh 18-year-old and you're just excited. You know what I mean? You're gonna go to whoever you can afford at that time. So. Yeah, I would just say that's number one. Like, watch out for that kind of stuff, bro. Make sure that needle is fresh.
Okay,
that's the minimum. Like,
for sure, absolutely. Well, thank you, because I think common sense ain't always common.
Exactly. So, like, you don't know. You're just going and getting a service, and you may just be a little too trusting, which I feel like, you know, everybody is, especially if you're young and you don't know any better. For
sure. How do you feel about like, do you get like a lot of cover up commissions or anything like that?
Yeah. So, the way I do my cover-ups, I would say in general I do cover-ups, but it's more so like just per piece based.
Okay.
You know, I have to look at it, assess it, see what I can or feel like I can't do. And I'm very transparent with my clients about that too. I think it's important because I think some people just will take your money and be like, hey, that's the best I could do. You know, and at the end of the day, my name means something to me. You know, I don't want somebody out there that's not satisfied with my work and there's nothing I could do to fix it, or I just wasn't, you know, genuine about what the outcome would be. You know, so I'm just very transparent. I try to talk people through what's going to look like, if we have to do multiple sessions, maybe have to touch it up, you know, things like that. So yeah, I take cover-ups for sure. I just make sure that I feel like I could do a good job
type shit. Okay. I guess that moves me into, I did want to circle back to this. I don't even know how this works, but would you ever take an apprentice? Like, because I know, like, we saying representation matters, right? But it's like, all right, like there can only be so many artists coming. It's not like it's a job interview where you could put in an application, right? Like, or else maybe it could be, right? But like if it's only a few people taking people under their wing, then that's limiting. Like, do you ever see yourself in the future or even now taking an apprentice?
Yeah. So like one of my main goals is, it's not even like a time-based goal. It's just something that I would like to do is, I would like to provide that type of space where, you know, people, hopefully people of color, women, you know, especially because we are the minority, but, you know, that's not shutting out anybody. That's
for sure.
But, you know, just giving them a place where they could feel comfortable coming to get the education, because, like, sometimes people just need the opportunity, bro, and I'm all for that, you know. Why gatekeep when it's enough money out here for everybody to eat? So, you know, that's definitely something that I would want to do is if I have my own shop one day, like, be able to offer that education for people and not, like, put up this big wall. I just would want to make sure that they're hungry. That would be the only thing I would, you know, dedication, be hungry, show up. You know, that's the only thing that I would require from my people, and then I'll be willing to teach them whatever they want to know. So
correct me if I'm wrong, it sounds like you have to have your own shop to have an apprentice?
No.
Oh, okay.
No. That's just probably what I would do.
Okay. All right. That makes sense.
And also, I just feel like this early in my career, I'm just kind of focused on me. And I think that I can just be real with myself and say that.
That really,
because sometimes I feel like people take apprentices and then they don't like really hone in on them. They don't, you know, give them the time that they need. They don't give them the attention that they need. They don't.
For sure.
You know, because they're focused on themselves. And it's like, that's cool, but I feel like you should be a little more transparent with somebody who's trying to learn from you. So I just want to be able to be in a space to where I can actually dedicate that time.
That's commendable. Love to see that for sure. Definitely. Since it's 2026, I feel like this is I feel like this shouldn't even be a conversation, but I guess this is subjective. But do you feel like people should still be tripping on tattoos being quote unquote unprofessional? Like, I guess depending on the field of work you in. Like,
I mean, because I'm an artist, I'm gonna say no. Because I've tattooed so many different types of people, bro. Mm-hmm. Like, that's one thing that I do love about what I do is being able to interact with different people, with different walks of life. You know what I'm saying? And it's funny because, like, as a tattoo artist, you are somewhat like a therapist too. Like, you just be tattooing somebody because you're with somebody for hours at a time, and if you're working on a big project, you can even become like almost friends.
Oh yeah, for sure. I've made friends from cutting hair, so I know.
Yeah. So like sometimes people just unload because you know some people it's literally tattoo therapy. They come, they got a lot on their plate. They just wanted some pretty art, and they just talk to you. And like being able to be that safe space for somebody in more than one way is kind of cool.
You had somebody break down while you was tattooing them?
Yeah.
Oh wow.
Yeah. It hasn't happened a lot, but I had this one girl. I still don't even really know why she cried, but like she just broke down crying, and I think she was just going through a lot. She was one of those people that didn't vent to me though, and it was our first session. Yeah. So I didn't know her or anything or expect her to tell me what's going on, but like I tried to give her space, gave her some water. You know, let her sit for a while.
Right, I'm sure it could be a little jarring.
She just kept boo-hooing, like, and I was just like, dang.
You want to pause?
So at the end of the day, she was just like, hey, I'm sorry, I can't keep going. We didn't finish the piece, and I never saw her again either. So, like, that was kind of a bad situation, but it wasn't, you know, you can't control what happens with people either. So
whoever you are, I hope.
Yeah, like I hope she's okay. Yeah. I hope whatever was going on, you know, her heart isn't burdened anymore with that. But on the positive side, most of the time it is positive. Like people feel better when they leave. You know, they got that smile on their face.
Nah, for sure.
You gave them a comfortable shoulder to lean on or just vent to, and they got a beautiful piece when they left.
Shout out to it, man. We gonna make this a little lighter. So I guess we can go into some top fives here shortly, but back to representation, man. Like, what was your thoughts on? Because I was very late in the game to watching the show. I know it was Black Ink Crew is what I'm talking about. I didn't start watching Black Ink Crew until the pandemic. I'm embarrassed to say that. However, I just thought that I wasn't interested for one, you know, and then it just, I think somebody had, I think Netflix had it. What was it like when you seen Black Ink Crew? I feel like that was
so shout out amazing to Black Ink Crew because honestly, like they were. Like in the beginning, they were like a major inspiration for me because I'm like,
shout out to
hey, you know, like it's young Black people, business owners, like making it happen in New York, you know what I mean? So like in the beginning, I feel like with that show, it was more centered around the art, it was more centered around that, and then it just kind of got wrapped up in that whole movement of reality TV. I feel like, and then it just became about drama, unfortunately. But I did watch it from the beginning, and I felt like I learned some things and just saw some things that like I didn't know that were possible.
Type shit. Shout out my nigga Puma. Shout out my nigga C. Shout out the Duchess. Sky, I think your name is. You know, get you a little bacon, egg, and cheese and shit, man. Yeah, man. Nah, Black and yeah. Nah, right. Come on now. Hey, yo, you see?
Hey, no, I like
my nigga him. Teddy Rucks. You know all of that, man. Yeah, man. You know that was real inspirational, man. It's like I know, even like. I'm a little bit of a tattoo snob. Like, even though, like, when I was watching that, I was like, damn, some of these pieces is kind of ass. It still was good to see because representation matters. If y'all don't know, this is, like, my best friend, right? So it's like, everybody would think, like, oh, man, your best friend do tattoos. She must have gave you 100 shits. Like, Sydney just started tattooing me, like, during the pandemic. Probably, like, I'm going to call it 2023. You started tattooing what year?
2022.
So she didn't even tattoo me her first year, right? Like, you know, but again, like it's permanent, you know? So I had to let her get her reps in. Like, and she's fire. She's amazing, you know? Like, I guess another question for you, like, is there anything that you because I always see certain artists do this, like damn, my first tattoo, like, or my first like few. I can't believe I did that shit. Like, is there any ones that you cringe at?
Honestly, no.
Okay, shout out to it.
Which is crazy to me because like so many people like say that they're like, oh man, I wish I never did this one. But I don't have that. Like, I really don't. I still have my first tattoo I ever did on my big brother Walt. Shout out to Walt. He tattoos as well. But my first one I did on him is still on my Instagram. You go all the way to the bottom because I like being able to see back to where I came from.
Your progression.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And then I also just think because I already was an artist for so long, like I've been drawing all my life, like since I was like 5, before I could hold a pencil or a crayon. You know what I mean?
Right,
so,
right.
I think it just was a little bit of an easier transition for me than maybe some people because I feel like, and then I got into it like later in life. Some people started when they were younger, and then I feel like they just learned along the way, and they had a little more bumps than me. But
for sure,
I think because I started when I was like almost 30 already, like, almost 30. Like I already was drawing and stuff for so long. And then I think the fact that I was like so scary, my fear motivated me to just be more concentrated on what I was doing.
Type shit. Okay. Last thing on representation, because we've been talking about that a lot, but I think it's really important. But it made me think. Made me think about this article I came across. I'll have to try to find a screenshot, but it's kind of like in conjunction with tattooing. However, like during the pandemic, I'm gonna mess this person's name up. Their name was Malone McQuende, I believe, but student, dermatology student in London, like noticed that there was like lack of representation in the dermatology field, and they were kind of just focusing solely on like white skin, and it's hard to, I know they were speaking about like if a person goes pale, you can't really see it. It's hard to diagnose it on a black person, right? So they made a book, I believe it's called Mind the Gap. Back in 2020, they co-wrote that book. But that's why, that's why representation matters. Obviously that's applicable to that field, but also, back to being black tattoo artists, right? Because it's just like, hey, like you said, to your point, if you don't know what's possible, you'll never think it's possible, right? Yeah, it's so many, people that's darker skin tone than us that just don't think they could ever get anything, but it's just like, hey, that is why representation matters. And there are differences. Like, there are differences in skin types, period. Right, exactly. Even within, like, the white community, there's different skin types. The black community, age is a factor, I was about to say age, things like that. Ink blows out. I done seen that. Yeah, for sure. So, it's a learning curve with all of it. And then another thing that some tattoo artists probably already noticed, but black people tend to swell. Oh yeah, faster, right. Like, right. While you I heard tattoo. Of that. So sometimes that's something that you may have to work around, or just it's different. And I heard we scar and keloid more than white counterparts for whatever reason. I don't know if that's only applicable to like piercing, but I know piercers have told me that about. Yeah, I'm not educated in that enough to know for sure, but yeah, I could believe it. Yeah. Yeah. December 6th, 2022. You tweeted, I just saw a picture of a carton of eggs tattooed on this man's forearm. I want to tattoo something random like that. Do you still feel that way? Yeah, bro. I mean, I have though. Like, I just did Doodle Bob the other day. You did Doodle Bob? Yeah. I've done a couple of Doodle Bobs, but this one was like bigger. He got it like on his calf. Okay. Yeah. Wow. Shout out to it. I don't think I seen. I'll do some random stuff. Sometimes. Did you post it? Nah. Oh, okay. I didn't post that one. You weren't proud of him, or what happened? No, it's not that I wasn't proud of it. I think for like social media and stuff, I just kind of post things that I want to do more. And then sometimes when I'm just moving, I forget. Type shit. Okay. Yeah. All right, man. Well, I have compiled a list of top fives, a couple different top fives. And I want your input, but I'm going to give you my top five. So we'll first start out with top five worst tattoo trends. My list here I have is permanent eyebrow tattoos, eyeliner tattoos. I put a question mark next to tramp stamp because I was like, I feel like it's subjective because like they was tripping on it back in the day, but I was like, I just seen some okay tramp stamps. I ain't really tripping off that for real. I did put the nipple heart tattoo, but I don't think it's horrible, right? But it's just like, I don't know, you know what I'm talking about? Yeah. Yeah, like, but I don't think it's horrible. I think I'll replace that with eyeball tattoos. Because I don't know if I don't think a lot of people do that, but I hate seeing it in general.
I honestly don't like it just for like the health risk involved. Cause it's like, bro, people go blind from getting their eyeballs tattooed, and it's like it's not worth that to look like a demon. You know
literally.
They have those like black contacts, and
contact lenses,
pop in,
taking the bitches out.
You know what I mean? So why tattoo your eyebrow? I just feel like that's crazy. As far as like a top 5, I really don't have one because I feel like, art is expressive.
Okay.
And I want clients to be comfortable to come to me for whatever.
Ain't no hating shit, B.
Yeah,
anything
like,
you need.
It makes you feel good. You feel like it adds to your look. Like, come on, let's do it.
What area won't you work on?
No feet, no genitals.
Oh, type shit. Okay. Don't come with no B, no booty, none of that shit.
A disclaimer when people
no feet, no genitals. All right, B.
Yeah.
So what if somebody offering you 10 bands, feet right now?
Oh, bring me that foot, bro.
What about the booty? You tattooing the butt? Okay, all right, bet. She can't be persuaded.
I have limits, but it's like, end of the day.
I got you.
You know what I'm saying? Like, I would prefer not to, but right. You pay me enough, and
we might be able to make it happen. All right.
That's only when it comes to tattooing.
Nah, for sure. Next top 5 list I got here. Top 5 iconic hip hop tattoos. I really got more than 5, but we'll just go through that. So, number 1, I got and this is in no particular order. Number 1, I got Gucci Mane's ice cream cone on his face.
Hell yeah.
Number 2, Tupac's Thug Life across his stomach.
Mm-hmm.
Crazy. Number 3, Lil Wayne's eyelid tattoos.
Yes.
Number 4, 21 Savage. It's a knife.
I gotta add Nip's prolific.
Hey,
bro.
that's on there too. Yeah, Nip's prolific tattoo, and then my honorable mentions. These are not like necessarily top 5, just identifiable, but I feel like these 3 people single-handedly, in my opinion, changed the rap game because of how tatted they were. So number 1, obviously Wiz Khalifa, tatted the fuck up, ink my whole body. I don't give a motherfuck. Like, that nigga really changed the game in my opinion because I don't think I've seen nobody that inked, prior to Wiz. I could be wrong, but like,
I feel like Wayne had a lot.
Wayne was a lot, but
Wiz was kind of just like already covered when he was already covered when he introduced himself to us. Like,
nah, for sure,
came out like I'm inky, bro.
Nah, definitely, 1000%. And then also this might not even be, I'm gonna be like, but Chris Brown and Tyga, like, these niggas was like they got tatted very very fast in a small amount of time, and I was just like, whoa, like I think shit, like again, representation matters. So like Lil Wayne definitely is one of the ones, but I think Wiz, with him being younger, he's gonna speak to a younger generation, right? So it's just like, oh shit, bro, like definitely that. And then shout out another honorable mention, Allen Iverson, because like niggas was not rocking tats in the NBA or cornrows for that matter.
You were labeled back then. It was thuggish.
It was thug shit, right?
He's a professional basketball player with cornrows and tattoos. Definitely stepped outside the box. And just to go back to what we were talking about earlier, like I just feel like in any industry, you shouldn't be able to be judged because you have tattoos, bro.
1000%.
That doesn't show what your knowledge status is.
I agree.
You can be the smartest dude in the world and have a tattoo on your forehead.
Definitely.
That doesn't take away from the knowledge. You know what I mean?
Realistically.
So it's like, but we're progressing. I feel like, more and more I've known people that have doctors with tattoos. Mm-hmm. And, it's starting to, I feel like that barrier is starting to come down. But I think it's also because of, the negative light that was shined through media back in the day. Like even, I said like in the 80s and stuff, like, it was always a motorcycle gang. Yeah, right. Violence, all the like Hispanic gang members had tattoos everywhere.
Even in Japan, Yakuza,
So even all over the world, like, it was looked at as just violent people had tattoos. Right, and I feel like it's just like, all right. So you can kind of understand, but it's like, we got to also understand that that's not true.
Definitely.
To a certain extent.
And tattoo's been around, to that point. Tattooing has been around for so long. I think of specifically like Polynesian people, like Maori culture, like with I think it's like the tapping stick and poke. There you go, right? Like I know Angelina Jolie, she got hers like somewhere in Tibet or something on her back. It's like the 4 lines, if I can think of it. I don't know what it says.
And then
but
Rihanna's tattoo.
Hers is stick and poke?
Yeah.
Wow.
She actually went, I forget what country she went to. I used to know this, but she like documented it or whatever.
She tough as
and
fuck.
And they stick and poked her hand. I said, yo.
She got to get in the salty spittoon for that shit. And
it's still there. Like,
no, yeah. That's just
over the years, I peeped that it's like, it's holding up. And like, hand tattoos are one of those ones.
Oh, yeah. That ink is going to fall out. Yeah, for sure. Definitely.
But not saying that it's because some people know how to put it in there the first time and you good. But,
okay.
You know, even me, I struggle with that sometimes. I'm like, oh, you might have to come back.
Nah, I got you, man. I guess I can end this out with like, you looking forward to anything, or who currently inspires Squid in the industry, like, or even if it's not in the industry, like artistic wise, like, do you have any artistic inspirations that leads you to want to, you know, get better at your work, or like maybe?
Yeah, like I feel like some of my favorite artists are actually in Germany and in Japan. Like in Germany, there are some hyper realism artists that do like crazy, look like it's like National Geographic stuff for like animals and nature. Just bright, beautiful, saturated color pieces. Those are inspirational for me. And then also in Japan, they have their own like style of tattooing, the Japanese style art, and just seeing those huge pieces they do all over people, and it's just like that beautiful contrast, you know, within their work. I love that. So yeah, like I get inspired by life, bro.
Nah, for sure.
And I'm always looking for inspiration. Definitely.
Shit, I forgot what I was gonna ask you, but you can, you know, plug anything that you're excited, looking forward to do. I know she's told me personally, guys, like she is looking to do concept pieces, right? Correct?
Yeah.
Right. So come to her with your concept pieces. She's a dope portrait artist. You know, she can do anything.
Concept pieces, just to break it down, like I know you.
Oh
yeah. What it means, but if you don't know what a concept piece is,
thank you, because like I'm assuming.
So like if you have like a full leg, or just a big part of your body, maybe not even a full leg, but just even like a half sleeve or something, and you just have an idea, like say, like for example, we're doing his it's like Black heritage, so he has different faces and different avenues of American Black history all over the leg. So we, you know, are highlighting, you know, where we came from and celebrating those people that have paved the way in different avenues in Black heritage. So yeah, if you have a piece that's like that, like that's conceptual, like, and you want somebody to bring it to life, I would love to do that.
1000%, man. Do you have anything that you want to plug in? Anything coming up?
Not really. I mean, just look out for me. I'm gonna do the convention in Akron this summer.
Yeah. Do you know when that is? I was just gonna mention that. I don't
know the exact date.
Okay. We'll get.
I know it's in the summer. It's either June or July or something like that. So I will be at that convention. It's usually a 3-day weekend. So yeah, you can find me there. I will also be at the Lions Den Tattoo Studio. Shout out to where I'm resident at.
Shout out to.
And yeah, you know, hit me in the DMs. My DMs are always open.
For sure, absolutely, man. Well, definitely appreciate you joining me. Again, you can plug your IG handle so the people can find you. We'll throw it up on the screen.
All right, yeah. So you can find me at squidinks_tattooist. That's on Instagram, and you can also find me at Who's the Master.
Hey.
TikTok. Shout out to the Last Dragon.
Shout out to the Last Dragon.
And then on Facebook, it's Squid Space Inks. You can look for that purple squid with the tattoo needle.
Like shit. This has been episode 2 of the Faith and Fear podcast. I'm your host, CJ. Squid, thank you for joining us so much.
Appreciate you.